Hi, thanks for watching this video. I want to attempt to tell you how to repair a Yuneec Typhoon G after it's been crashed. So one thing you'll notice about these Typhoons is when they crash, they come down hard. This one came down 30 feet. It landed on the motor and it took one hit like that, and the second hit broke it off. So I actually crashed it twice. It still flew after the first crash, but the second crash did this thing in. So I did order a body for it. So we have a new Typhoon G airframe, and I took the old one apart. So what we're going to do here is move the parts from the old airframe, which is shown on the floor here, to this new airframe, which I got from a company in Castle Rock, Colorado. Multicopter Warehouse. A Multicopter Warehouse sold me this for $59 and $11 shipping, and I was quite happy with that price. So what we're going to do is get this new body and put all the parts in from the old body into the new one. So the new body, what you get here is just an empty body. They did send some decals, which are great when you're all done and you're feeling good about your progress. So really, we're just going to swap parts from one body to the other. The real hard part about this for many people might be the soldering, and I can't say I'm a great fan of soldering, but it's what you have to do. And you can do that last because the motors will go on last. So I've done this once before because I wrecked this thing again. This is my second accident where I've demolished it. So I could probably do this pretty fast now, but let's go over how to do it. So these wires come right out. I have the motors out on my old frame here, so we just pull these wires right out. So let's get to doing that. You can just grab them here and yank them out. What you want to do is make sure you don't mix these up, because the copter wants to know what corner it's controlling the ESC controlling board for the motor. So you don't really want to mix these wires up, so we'll keep them all contained like that. The other thing I did was I made sure I knew which motors went to the front and which went to the back. So conveniently, there's an old computer here, and I put the motors for the rear of the drone, which, this being the rear with the battery door, are behind the rear of the computer. And those are little ESC boards with the red lights. The motors, it doesn't really matter how they go back on. You don't have to match them to the ESCs. You just put the motors in. You can attach them to any ESC you want, and off you go. It's probably a good idea after an accident to make sure the motors are not damaged. So you could do a visual spin on them. Just pick it up and spin it in your hand briskly. I can't do it with the camera in my hand, but spin it and make sure the motor's not damaged. One of my motors has a little wobble in this section, so I plan to try and replace it with a new motor, which I bought. So that's about it. And the way you go about this is, first of all, this is your GPS. I'm not sure why they put it under a shield here, but you want to take the GPS out by pulling out this little metallic shield the GPS is under. You want to get it oriented right, so you want to make sure you know how it's coming out, and you want to get that in your new frame. So we can actually get to that pretty soon here. Put the new frame down side by side, and working side by side, just move that over to the new frame exactly as it is. It has self-adhesive tape, so that's going to be the plane of action for that. And so that's the operation on the top of the frame. And actually, okay, this makes sense. This is the top of the frame here, so yeah, as we're flying, this is facing satellite, so this is the top of the frame. And you want to have the shielding here so the computer CPU doesn't put RF interference. When computers run, the chips make RF interference, and that might have a couple harmonics that interferes with the reception of the GPS. So yeah, it's a smart move to put this stuff back on to shield your GPS from the computer's interference. Okay, so let's go over what we have here. As you can see, I cracked my battery holder, so I'm going to put a new battery holder in. I have a white one that I picked up, which won't really matter. We'll put the white one in. It won't look great, but who cares? So this guy here, this little board here, is your RF board for radio communications for RC control on 2.4 gigahertz. So this board is something you really need to talk to the airframe controller here, the CPU, which is down here, the CPU board. So you got to make sure that's on there. I'm guessing that this is your compass right here, so we want to take that out. And that's about it. So I'll get the camera situated and perhaps we can do some work. How's that? Okay, see you in the next part of this video.